welcome to Lost Girl Therapy. These are the 3 things that I did that helped me get my autoimmune under control. If you are somebody who's in the space where you are starting to have symptoms that doctors really cannot quite figure out, but you don't fulfill the full diagnosis of an autoimmune condition like Hashimoto's or Graves' or something like that, and I was in that space for maybe about 2 or 3 years before I got my Hashimoto's diagnosis. I did 3 things over the course of those 3 years that helped shed light on what I was going through, and they were a game changer, and this is not things that doctors recommended that I do. Number 1, go to an allergist. Get a full back panel, not just the arm panel. You are trying to find out what is in your environment, what chemicals, what fragrances, what foods, anything that you are allergic to or sensitive to that is disrupting your system. In my case, I did not know that I was allergic to fragrance. I didn't know I was allergic to hydrocortisone or cortisol. I was wearing perfume every day, and I did not really have any reactions. I noticed that my face was getting puffy, that I would have puffiness around my eyes. Sometimes I would have like shortness of breath, but it was never consistent with the environment that I was in. After I got the back panel done, I had the ACDS app, which is provided by my allergist. It lists all your allergies, and then it tells you what products are safe or are not safe. I had to change all of my shampoos, all of my makeup. I had to change my toothpaste. The moment that I got rid of all of the things that were disrupting my symptoms, all of the flares that I used to have, like rashes around my eyes or uncontrollable histamine responses, completely went away. The second thing that I would say is go get your thyroid antibodies tested. In my case, I was lucky enough that I had a doctor who basically was like, has anyone checked your antibodies? And I was like, no. My thyroid is fine. My T3, my T4, my TSH, all of those are normal. My thyroid antibodies have consistently gotten higher and higher over the last 5 years. When I first had them checked, they were through the roof, and then I got them under control and they declined. Now they're rising and I have to figure out why. But one of the things that I noticed is when I removed allergens from the situation or things that would cause a sensitivity reaction or an inflammatory response, my thyroid antibodies began decreasing because my body was not fighting as much inflammation as it previously was. Number 3, I changed my exercise routines, and this is not what I didn't actively want to. I had to do it because I started experiencing thyroid swings, so like extreme tiredness or extreme hyperactivity. And so I just didn't have the stamina in my workouts. But now, years later, what I've noticed is doing less intense workouts for shorter periods of time more consistently. So I do like 20 to 30 minutes of working out daily was a game changer, because those high intensity workouts, those cardio heavy, even like intense yoga flow classes, my body would burn out way too quickly and I couldn't recover from them. So I have found that doing shorter term, more consistent workouts with strength training integrated into them can be so helpful. Remember, with autoimmune, or the way that I conceptualize it, is that your body is fighting a fire that it actually can't find the source of. So you have to start eliminating the things that cause it to have a response. So we eliminate the allergens, we eliminate the high intensity workouts, we find out if your thyroid is working correctly. And then the fourth and final thing that I would say is, if you are somebody who is still in this space of uncertainty, then food elimination can be helpful. In my case, I refused to do the FODMAP. I refused to do like the reintegration. I just did not have the stamina for it. I looked for the things that I ate every day, and then I removed them for 2 weeks or up to a month. When I did that, I would eat that food again the first time and I would see how I would feel. So eggs is a really good example. Like, I would eat eggs almost every day, and then I removed them for 6 weeks in that case because it needed a longer period of time according to my doctor. And when I ate them again, I was so nauseous. Like, it was really uncomfortable for my body to digest it. I just didn't have a good reaction. Now, I had been eating them every single day, so I wonder what toll that was taking on my body as a whole if it had to work 10 times harder to digest things that it didn't actually match with. Now, my approach is not by any means medical advice when it comes to anything that I said in this video, but especially the food stuff. This is just my lived experience. But the rule of thumb that I've always taken, especially prior to me getting the Hashimoto's diagnosis, was always remove the factors and then see what you're dealing with. So find the things that are grabbing your attention, identify what they are, test for what they are, remove them from the situation for a little bit and see what improves or what doesn't. In my case, when I removed my allergens, I changed my workouts, I ended up going gluten-free for Hashimoto's, and I checked my thyroid levels. I then changed my lifestyle to reduce inflammation overall in really mindful, active ways that made me feel more in control of this autoimmune journey, but also made my body feel a lot better.